So we are talking about childhood trauma and soul scars today. And firstly, I will be starting with soul scars because we just today literally was just about getting to understand what childhood trauma is, what it does, and then soul scars.
Okay.
A soul scar is an invisible wound, that is left on your inside, you know, usually after experiencing some sort of pain, trauma, especially childhood trauma, really forms a major part of our existence because literally everything that we are as an adult, these are things that we experience while we are growing up. They form the major part of our existence, which is the reason why we parents are usually advised to look out for their children, especially children that are have been sexually abused as kids, as very little kids. They grow up traumatized. So it's really good that
Yes.
parents look out for their kids. So just as the body carries scars, from physical injuries, the soul also carries scars from emotional and psychological injuries or troubles or issues. Then unlike physical scars, soul scars are not visible to the eyes at all, but they often show up in the person's emotions. Through your emotions, they show up as anger, recurring sadness, or even fear, possibly. They also could show up through your belief system, such as you feeling unworthy, maybe unworthy of certain things, unworthy of people, you feeling unloved, you feeling like you're not enough. All of these things are some of the things that childhood trauma, soul scars could do to you. The reason why I feel like starting with soul scars is because for me, childhood trauma, from my own definition, I'll see childhood trauma as soul scars. That's something that could result to soul scar. So I just want to start with the soul scar first, so that we can really understand what it means before I delve into childhood trauma properly. Then soul scars could actually also result through your relationships. Could result through your relationships, like you could have difficulty trusting people. You could also
Yes.
have
That's a big one.
difficulties
The
bonding.
trust.
Could have, yeah, you could also have difficulties bonding with people, and also letting go of past hurts would be very difficult for you. So these are some of the ways
Yeah.
that
Why is that? To let go of when someone hurts you, it's like honestly, because I have CPTSD, so it's very
we already talked
hard.
about.
When someone hurts
Yeah, we already
us,
talked
I
about.
don't let it go.
We already talked about that in our previous sections when we were talking about trauma bonding. If you could remember vividly, yeah, we talked about trauma bonding. So that's where. So as you can see, everything revolves around trauma. Everything revolves around trauma. So, and one of the ways that soul scar can also come up or could reflect itself is through your identity. You might be struggling with your self-image, and or maybe probably purpose because of what you've endured. You'll be struggling with, you'll be asking yourself, what exactly is my existence? Why am I even here? And in fact, you might not really get the absolute answer, the correct answer. You may never get it because trauma is still messing up with your mind. So it's very, very difficult. You may never be able to really get the answers you seek. So that's just the basic about soul scars. Right now, we'll be going into childhood trauma properly. In simple terms, I define childhood trauma as the emotional scar that is being left, after a child's sense of safety, love, and sense of worth have been damaged. So scars are formed when deep wounds in the childhood or adulthood are never fully healed. Just the way we have childhood trauma, we also have adulthood trauma. Adulthood trauma are the ones that comes from relationships with people around, and the kind of things that childhood trauma must have made you do. The impact of those things could result to adulthood trauma as well. Probably when you get into a relationship, you get married, some of those things that happens in and out, could, maybe someone betrayed you badly, a friend of yours did something bad to you. It could actually form adulthood trauma. So just the way we have childhood trauma, we also have adulthood trauma. So however, scars also mean healing has taken place. If you have scar, it means healing has already taken place or has started taking place. I'll repeat that again. When you have scar, it means healing has already taken place, or healing is already taking place. Just imagine I have a cut right here on my neck.
Yep.
Probably it's reddish because my skin is still, it hasn't healed yet. But the moment you see that it start healing, you might see like a mark on my neck. You see the
Yes.
scar there. That, oh, you know, when you see it, you know that I had a cut, and you might be asking, oh, why do you have that scar there? It shows that that wound is already healing or has healed already. I don't know if you understand my point.
No, I'm understanding.
So you having childhood, yeah. So you having childhood trauma actually mean you've gone through the whole stage of the trauma, really having a hold, like a strong grip on you. All that is left now are just shadows of the past. All that is left now just memories of all that has happened in the past. It doesn't mean it's not going to hurt you. When you look back at those things, you will still feel hurt.
Yes.
And you might still feel hurt because you've not fully recovered. You've not fully recovered from the whole childhood trauma. If you fully recovered and you remember those things, yeah, it might want to hurt somehow, but you won't feel that impact as strongly as when you haven't really recovered from it. So the reason why I feel like we should talk about this childhood trauma of the thing is because a lot of people are dealing with childhood trauma even at their adult stage without fully realizing that these things are actually impacts of trauma. So scars are the silent marks of our struggles, survivors, in fact, reminders of the battles we've faced in our entire lifetime, the lessons we've learned, and the resilience we carry on our inside within us. How do you get to understand childhood trauma fully? Childhood trauma is more than just painful memories you carry. You know, it's actually a deep wound that shapes how a person thinks, shapes how the person, you know, feels, how the person relates with the world, the entire world. You know, when a child's experiences of neglect, loss, rejection, you know, constant fear doesn't fully fade away, or, you know, when it doesn't fully fade away with age. Instead, you know, it's going, this experience will just leave behind many soul scars when those things don't fade away fully. Because now at this stage that I'm already 30 years old, but I could remember vividly all the impacts of abuse I experienced as a child. I was just 7. I was 7 years
Yes.
old, but
Of course you're gonna remember.
I could still remember. I could still remember everything that happened, how it happened. I remember vividly. That's how badly trauma could affect your mind, because these
The
things are the things
smells,
that have
areas, everything.
yeah. So these things are the things that has actually formed who you are in your current state. These things have actually formed who you are right now, and if you don't find a way to recover fully from these things, they will keep hurting you. They will affect your relationships with people. In fact, when you get married, they would affect your relationship with your spouse as well. That's how badly it could affect you. So it's the reason why we usually affect people to see how they could look inwardly and probably see a counselor, a therapist that could guide them and walk them through having to see if they, because there are some certain signs to look out for to be sure that if this, oh, we could recognize if this is childhood trauma or adulthood trauma. We ask you questions, we try to find out what exactly it is, the kind of experiences you are having, how it's happening, so we know whether that leads to childhood trauma or adulthood trauma. So the invisible imprints on our hearts, on the hearts of humans, you know, and our minds that follow us into adulthood. These are, you know, the entire childhood experiences. So a childhood trauma could actually be emotional. It could be emotional. Like I said, when I was explaining soul scars, I spoke about the emotional aspect too. So childhood trauma could be emotional abuse or neglect. You know, you feeling unloved, unheard, invisible. Like, I'll give an instance. While some parents, they give birth to so many children, and unfortunately they are unable to love all the kids equally. You see them comparing baby A to baby B, telling baby A you are not as good as baby B, or telling baby B I want you to be like baby A. So with all these things, you start seeing a child at that early stage feeling so timid, feeling so unloved, feeling so terrible about themselves, and they grow up with that feeling, and it forms part of their childhood trauma and childhood experiences. And another scenario I'd like to give is um I'd like to tell us the story of a lady. She got pregnant for a married man. She got
Okay.
pregnant for a married man, and her intention was that since the guy had money, he was rich, he was so wealthy, and the lady was doing so well because he was loving her loudly. So this lady wanted to. She felt like maybe if she got pregnant for the guy, and in fact the guy had two daughters already and the wife was pregnant, but she didn't know that the wife was already pregnant. So she decided to go and have a thing with this guy. Okay, the guy saw free, free tickets, so he had his way with her, and then she got pregnant. So she got pregnant, and in fact, in the whole thing, the guy denied the pregnancy. And when she told the guy that she was pregnant, the guy said that, oh no,
Left.
sorry, I don't want the baby. I have a family to protect. I love my wife. I love my I love my kids. I'm not doing
They
this.
always do that.
Go
They always
get
do
your
that.
wife. So the lady continued. She started ranting on the social media, started doing all sort of stuff, and then at some point she was like, she did scan, and then she still went back to the guy, telling the guy she was expecting a baby boy and all of that. And the guy's wife too was expecting a baby boy because they already had two daughters. So the guy's wife was also expecting a baby boy. So the guy's wife, the wife of the man, later gave birth to not just one but two boys. That's how God did it. She gave birth to two boys. Then the other lady now later turned out, the scan told her it was a boy, but she gave birth to a girl. See how the whole thing happened. She gave birth to a girl, not a boy. But the man's wife, I don't know if you're understanding the story. The man's wife already had two daughters, and then she was pregnant with the third pregnancy.
Oh, she
And
was
according
hoping
to
that
the
he would want
scan-
her because of the boy.
Yes, because she told the guy that she was pregnant. She was expecting a boy child, not knowing that the man's wife was pregnant. According to the scan, from the first scan that she did, it wasn't showing the second twin. But when it was time for delivery, she gave birth to twin boys, two to a set of identical boys. She gave birth to twin,
Okay.
and then the lady that wanted to push this one out of the marriage because she felt she was expecting a boy gave birth to a girl. So that was how the whole thing happened, and then she had to, carry the entire stress of taking care of the child all by herself and all of that.
He didn't help. Oh.
She ended up hating her daughter. That's how bad it was.
Oh,
she ended up hating the girl. Yes. And it got to a point that, in fact,
No, I've seen
she
people
turned
do that.
the
I see
girl-
people do that.
It got to a point that she turned the girl into a machine. She brings in men to come and make out with her just for them to pay her.
can't-
Okay, so she was now using her for the whole business and all of that. Men come in, have their turns with her and all of that, and she grew up with that trauma. You can imagine how badly her entire existence was being shaped by that. She
The
was
father didn't know
literally
this?
shown that. Well, I don't know. So the story
I just feel it's
came
so
across.
weird how this world works.
Yeah. So that's how horrible some of these things happen, and then some of these people they grow up with this trauma, and then you're wondering why they are acting in certain to be people that end up unaliving other people because they feel like humans are heartless. Humans are not supposed to be loved. So why should they love a human when they never got love? When they needed it, especially as children. So you can imagine how all these things happen. Then one of the ways childhood trauma could also be physical. Yeah, it could be physical abuse, physical or intimate abuse. And this could be causing fear. It could cause or result to fear, feeling of shame, and you will also find it difficult trusting people. Like probably when you get married, also when you're in a relationship, you would find it very difficult trusting people. And also all these things could be because of the entire childhood trauma and what it could have done to you. Then one of the other types of childhood trauma that we'll be talking about is abandonment or loss. Maybe such as you losing your parents, the unaliving of your parents, or maybe constant conflicts in the home front could also result to a feeling of abandonment or loss. Also, parents who give birth to children and then abandon them, like baby daddies and the rest of them, baby
Yeah,
mamas.
they never be in their life. Like they just take off like the kid didn't exist.
All right. Like in this place, I came across some news a couple of days back. Like they found a baby in a bush. A lady carried a
Ah.
baby for, yeah, we see that a lot over here. Carry a baby in your
Yeah.
womb for 9 months with all the stress. You give birth to the child, push the child out, and then you dump the child in a waste bin. You can imagine that child growing up.
Do they have a safe haven there? Like here we have safe havens where people can drop them off at the fireplace.
Well, unfortunately, the system over here is really bad.
No, they
It's
don't have
really, really
nothing.
bad. Because I came across a video yesterday of a supposed orphanage, and in that orphanage, they physically abused the children there to the point that
Yes.
one of the baby's leg was, yes, one of the lady's baby's legs was broken.
I've been seeing those videos lately. They do it in the schools too. I don't like it. It's abuse.
So you can
Abuse is
imagine,
abuse.
how horrible. You can imagine how horrible these things are. These things are. Trust me, if I have money, God knows, I'm gonna build an orphanage.
I
And I'll make sure
know.
that these kids are 100%.
That's what I
taken
keep
care
saying.
of.
I said if we had money, just think of like we could have like a proper place where people want like we could take care of them. So there's rounds of people to take care of them, but also proper places for if they drop their child off, it's safe. Like instead of them dropping them off just somewhere. Like here we have that.
Yeah.
But I know they don't have that there. So
So
I do pray for that. Okay.
That's it, and that also people that grow up in really toxic environments, people that grow up in very, very toxic environments too, it could actually um form part of your childhood experiences. Because some people that grow up in very toxic environment, they find that lifestyle as normal. So when you are
Yes.
treating them with love, they find that as being abnormal, or they will suspect that, oh, you want to really harm them. You showing them love is you trying to harm them because they are used to toxicity and all of that. So when you get to the social media space or you go out there and you find people being toxic to you unnecessarily, you should just understand that it could be their childhood experiences that has formed part of the reason they're acting in that kind of way, you know. So growing up in toxic environments can be really detrimental to someone's well-being and everything literally about the person's life. So this experience often creates scars, and which may look like you're having low self-worth, or maybe feeling like you're not enough. You might be feeling like, oh, I'm not enough for this person, I'm not worthy of this kind of position, I'm not worthy of this, I'm not worthy of that, you know. I've also done that to myself before, and I'm like, who am I that you should love me like this? Oh no, I'm not worthy of this, I'm not worthy. Nah, I don't think I'm qualified. Honestly, I remember while I was growing up as a child, I was so traumatized, you know. I was really, really traumatized that imagine a house filled with children, with kids. In my family, I come from a family of 8. I have 7 siblings. I'm the fourth. Yes, I have 7 siblings, but you could imagine still growing up as a lonely child because of what trauma did to me. You can imagine being someone telling you, if you tell your mommy, if you tell your daddy, I'm gonna unalive you, you know, all those things like that, and you growing up with all that fear. So I was able to develop work with the Holy Spirit, with God. That was how early my work with God started. But at some point, I was not scared of doing the work of God because I didn't want to be called a pastor. I didn't want to go into, I didn't want to go into all that.
Because you have to have, I feel like you need more than that, because you could be a pastor, but at the same time, there's more than that. Just like if you go to a doctor for high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, there's a specialist for everything. And counselors are trained specifically in areas to help you to recover or to know how to deal with symptoms of what you're going through.
Yeah. Okay, before I proceed, someone dropped a comment that you can be part of someone else's orphanage home and make an input. What I want to say to that is that I don't think I would like to do that again. I used to do that a whole lot. Like I did that a lot way years back. The reason why I don't feel like doing that again is the fact that when you take good clothes to these orphanages, guess what they do? They pack up these clothes and resell them, or they give these clothes to their family members.
That's why you make your own.
Or,
Listen, if God blesses you someday, make your own orphanage, make your own rules, so they can't ever do that. I knew you were going to say that. I could see that happening. Okay, go ahead.
or you
hon.
take food items to them, provisions to them. They don't give these provisions to the kids. They starve these kids. They use some of these kids for very wrong business purposes. You can imagine.
Yeah.
So
No,
there is no way
I've
I'm
heard.
going to make an input to an orphanage anymore. No, I would rather start mine and bring in people that I know that can really look after these things, that I know that I can supervise and make sure that these people are well taken
Exactly.
care of. People that I know that
Amen.
people that I know that I'm sure that know God, fear God. People that also have been trained, well trained people that could look after people that actually embody love and peace. Those are the kind of people that I would bring on board to work for me in that orphanage. So a lot is happening in the orphanage that I don't feel like I would ever again waste my money. It's a waste of money
No.
because they don't invest in these children. They don't. Some of them even use these kids as for trafficking purposes. You can imagine that's how sadly it is.
That's actually all
So I'm
over
not
the
gonna
world,
be
and it's
doing that.
scary. It's very scary. It's all over the world. That scares
Yeah.
me. But once you
Okay,
see
so,
it, it's hard to get that out of your
back to what
head.
we're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So back to what we were talking about, and one of the ways that trauma could be seen is you could actually create this feeling of emptiness. You could have this feeling of emptiness or shame. When I was growing up, I used to be very timid. I could be very shy. I remember the first day that I was being called in. It was usually do this assembly. It was a very big school. Then I was in high school. It was a very big school. I came out among the first three best. And then when they called my name, I think it was first position when they called my name, I was so shy. I was there. That was the first time ever my name was being mentioned in such a situation, because I had to really, really up my game to make sure I was among the best, you know. I was being called out. My parents were there because my parents were actually teachers in the school. They were there while they called my name, you know. And I was so shy. I couldn't go out. Everyone was calling my name, like it was you they were calling. They're talking about you. I was like, God, I didn't know what this was. As though the ground should just open for it to swallow me that day. That's how crazy it was. Yeah, I was so shy. I grew up like that till even during my university days. I still experienced that whole timid attitude, but with the help of therapy, counseling, and all of that, I was able to come out of it, you know. So you can imagine how this whole childhood trauma could mess up with your life. It could create that feeling of emptiness. It could create that void on your inside. You just feel that something is lacking even when nothing is missing. That's how it could be.
Absolutely.
So but the thing is that here is the hope. Scars mean healing has begun, like I said from the beginning. And just like physical scars, emotional and soul scars, you know, show that you survived what tried to break you. With self-awareness and therapy, support, spiritual, or maybe personal sources of strength, instead of prisons of pain. Because if you don't heal from your soul, from childhood trauma properly, it could get you imprisoned in pain. You could get imprisoned in pain. Let me say that clearly. You could get imprisoned in pain. Like nobody got you in prison, but you just decide to imprison yourself. You put yourself in jail by yourself by refusing to come out of it. That's how crazy it is.
Yeah.
So
it's hard, but it's worth it in the end. Keep fighting for it. And
Yeah.
I love how you gave the example when you said you see the scar and how it's red, but it's healing. I like how you gave me a picture to think of that. Yes, we were hurt as children. We have the scar, but that's the process of healing.
Yeah.
And I was like, that you gave me a different point of view of looking at it, to where we're in the healing process. We were hurt, but we're in the healing process. So that's a really good example. I really love that.
Okay, you're welcome. So, ways that you could actually heal childhood trauma, it could involve, firstly, by acknowledging the wound instead of burying it.
Oh, absolutely.
By acknowledging the wound instead of burying it. There are a lot of people that choose to live in self-denial. They choose to live in denial of the fact that there was probably something that happened that could have created a wound. Some people, even as adults, they don't have scars, they have wounds. I'm saying they have wounds because they haven't even made any attempts. Because sometimes we say childhood trauma turns out to become a scar. It only turns out to become a scar when maybe during the passing of time, you are meeting people here and there, you are hearing things here and there, you're going to therapy here and there, you're going to counseling, and then all these things are forming part of your healing journey. But then when you are growing up and then you are meeting people, you are hearing things, and you still refuse to go to therapy, you don't want to take your healing journey serious, you don't even want to admit that those things affect you in any way, but literally they're affecting you without you knowing it. Sometimes you go realize that you are having serious anger issues. I had that too. I dealt with that for years. Those anger issues could actually be because you grew up in a very, very toxic environment. Your parents are always fighting before you. They're, always boxing each other before your eyes, and then you're wondering, is this the normal thing? It's not normal.
Oh, wow.
So instead of burying your pain or refusing to acknowledge that there's something there or there's a wound that needs to be tended to, you need to be able to admit it and start your healing journey as soon as possible. Just like I gave that instance of a scar, I also want to give an instance of a wound, a childhood wound. Imagine I have a wound here, right? Then I refuse to treat the wound. Probably I didn't even bother about it, and then it gets infected. If it gets infected, what happens? It starts decaying, right? If it starts decaying, what happens? Start bringing pus, it starts smelling, and then what happens? People might start living your life. Nobody wants to come with you. Nobody wants to eat in the same plate, from the same plate with you. Nobody wants to get to love you, and then you start wondering, why is everybody running from me? That's what childhood wound will do to you if it's not tended to. It will scare people away from your life. Your attitude will stink. Nobody will want to come close to you. Nobody want to have anything to do with you. You will find it difficult keeping relationships or even building one in the first place, not to talk of keeping it. So you can imagine. So the points where your childhood wounds have been tended to, and you already began your healing journey, that's when it becomes childhood scars, becomes soul scars. And then the beautiful thing about scars is that if you accept your scars the way they are, you would love yourself. And in fact, those scars could heal to a point that when you look at those scars, all you do is smile. You smile because you're smiling from a place of healing. It's beautiful. Healing is worth it. So I encourage everybody to begin their healing journey today. And then the next thing I'd like to talk about is processing the pain. Instead of living in denial, you just need to accept. The first point is to acknowledge the pain. Second thing is to process it. How do you process it? You could process it through therapy. You could also practice journaling. Writing down all those things could help you process those things well. And also, you could also have a safe conversation with probably a friend. But usually, a friend might not really understand you. That's the funny thing. A brother, a sister might not really understand you like a counselor or a professional therapist would. Because we've been trained to understand these things, so we know where to come from, how to ask you questions, we know what exactly to do to help you process these things properly. So I would advise you seek professional help instead of going to people that will judge you. Because imagine I go to meet someone and tell the person, oh, I was abused as a child, or probably I go to tell somebody I unalived somebody. What do you think those people would do? They will start judging you. They'll look at you with an eyes of judgment, and they'll feel like, oh, you're such a horrible person.
Yeah.
What would that do to you? It will make you feel worse. It will make you feel worse. In fact, you might lose the relationship with them. They might stop being your friend.
A pastor would tell you to go pray about it instead of actually talking about it, dealing with the issues you got to deal with.
If you go meet your pastor, your pastor might decide to call you a horrible person and tell you that God will not forgive you. God will not forgive you. In fact, you will go to hell. You go to hell. might make you feel very, very horrible. So it's best you meet a professional therapist that won't be judgmental, but will understand your situation, analyze it properly, and see how to guide you through your healing journey.
And it's private.
So,
you know what I mean? It's private. It's confidentiality. Like, it's between you and them, and they actually get to actually open up, talk about what's wrong, and you already have the skills because you went to school. You've been through it yourself, so you already know how to deal with people and the situations that they go through, where other people are not trained in that. And that's what I keep trying to tell people. You wouldn't go to a heart doctor if you have diabetes. Like, it's common sense. Go to where you're supposed to go to so you can get the help you need the right way, so you can heal the right way.
You're right. Thank you very much, Christina, for that wonderful contribution. So the next points that we'll be going to, because I was actually listed them step by step. The first one is acknowledging it. Secondly, you have to process it. And then the third thing you need to do is reparenting the inner child. How do you reparenting the inner child? Because there's a child in there that wasn't properly taken care of.
I need a
because
mom.
If that child was properly taken care of, there wouldn't be a trauma. If that child was properly taken care of, there wouldn't be a trauma, right? Yes. So you need to go back, visit that child again, and show that child all the love that child needs to be shown, so that child will not feel cheated. What trauma does, like, to make you feel cheated, so that child will not feel cheated. So that child will feel like, oh yes, you denied me this thing years back, but now I have it. That's when your healing journey will even start properly. So you need to start giving. You need to start by giving yourself the love, the care, the validation you once lacked. You go before the mirror, you stand before the mirror, look at yourself and tell yourself, damn, Christina, you're so beautiful. Gosh, you turn around, look, oh my gosh, I'm so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I love my nose, so cute. Oh my gosh,
I've done that. I tried to teach women that.
I got the most beautiful eyes, you know. So you can imagine you doing these kind of things maybe on a daily basis. There's no way you will not feel so confident and beautiful about yourself. There is nothing about anyone says to you that's going to break you, because you already healed that inner child. That is you reparenting your inner child. In fact, you look at yourself and all you do is smile, and you know that yes, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you're cute. So don't let anyone make you feel like you are not good enough or anything. All you have to do is just revisit that inner child that once lacked love, once lacked affection and protection. Maybe the inner child actually lacked protection because you were not saved from that abuser of yours. That inner child lacked protection because you were bullied in school and nobody came to save you. So this is the time you need to love that child well. If you're able to show that child love, then your adult self will be proud of you. And even your little self also will be very, very happy that you took a bold step to even show that child love, that child in you. So until you heal that child in you that is hurt and broken, trust me, you as an adult can never be happy. You cannot. And you can never feel fulfilled. In fact, Christina, this section I'm giving like this is like how people start paying to enter this life.
It's good stuff though. It's good.
Honestly, I can't imagine we are actually going deep. I never wanted to go deep into this course today.
You're going so deep, it's making me feel the childhood, that little child. I'm just like, do you need a hug? I'm just like, you see the little girl? I know you're seeing the little girl. I'm seeing the little girl. You're seeing the little girl, and you just like, you need a hug, right? I'm just like,
because sometimes I just sit in my room alone, and I'm just reflecting back at my little self. And I'm just wondering, all those things my little self once lacked, I'm doing everything I can to make sure that I can give it to that child inside, so that as I'm giving myself all those things, I know that the child inside is happy and proud. Yes. Which means that child will not come out. What happens is that if you don't heal your inner child, it's as though, let me give an instance. My son now, when he's hungry, he cries out to me, right? When he's not happy, when he's uncomfortable, he cries. And that cry, it can be so disturbing and overwhelming. That's what your inner child does. If that child is unhappy, that inner child will keep crying. It will keep crying. and it makes you lose your peace. It affects everything about your life. That's what that inner child that is crying is what we call trauma. So until you appease that inner child, in Nigeria they'll tell you that you need to go and appease the ghost. Until you appease that inner child, you will not be able to feel fulfilled as an adult. So it's good you visit that inner child and reparent that inner child. And then the next point we will be talking about is forgiveness and letting go. You need to be able to forgive and release. And one thing I often tell people is that forgiveness is not for the benefit of the person you are forgiving.
True.
It's for your own benefit. Because if you don't forgive, it could actually create some issues relating to your health. It could lead to cancer and other things that you won't be able to trace, know how to trace them, But it could just be because of your childhood trauma that you've been unable to let go of. So not to excuse the hurt. It's not as if the hurt doesn't exist or was never there, but it's just to free yourself from it. It's just for you to free yourself from it. I can't imagine. I'm actually feeling emotional right now.
No, I felt the same way. I actually almost cried twice, and then I'm just like, I actually seen. I don't know if you've seen what I seen. I seen like the little girl that you want to hug because of all the stuff you've gone through, but because we know about it, and it's just like so many people don't know about that little person inside you that didn't get to heal, and it's sad,
Yeah, so.
And it still cries every so often, and you just want to go in there and you're just like, it's okay. Like, we would give comfort to our kids, what we needed, that's what we still need inside sometimes. Like, I still feel like I need to go in there and get in that little person inside there and be like, are you okay? You need a hug.
True. So it's good you're able to forgive and let go so that you don't keep hurting yourself. It's not like I said, forgiveness doesn't mean the pain or the hurt never existed or doesn't still exist. It just means you've been able to free yourself from it. So that's what forgiveness does for you. Then our final point is reclaiming your power. You need to reclaim your power. How do you reclaim your power? You reclaim your power by transforming those scars into testimonies of resilience. So that when you get to that point of healing, where someone can come to you and ask you about your childhood, and then you can face the camera, face millions of people, talk about your story, and you're not crying. You can talk about your stories, you don't feel too emotional anymore because you've overcome all of that. You're in a better place because you're speaking from a place of healing. So your story, maybe other people could be crying listening to your story, but you are not. Because you've healed already, while you're speaking, other people could be feeling emotional and be feeling, they might be crying because of your story and all of that, because it could be so touching. But you that is saying that story, you're no more crying. You have gone past the crying stage. You are in your glowing stage, your winning stage, your happy moments, your healing, your healed states. So all that story thing, whatever happened in the past, no longer has power over you. You've already been able to overcome those things. So my final notes to anyone watching us right now is trauma may have shaped your beginning, but it does not have to define your destiny. Your soul scars can become the very marks of your survival, growth, and your inner strength. Thank you very much.
Absolutely wonderful today.
I need at least a round of applause. Christina, you're not doing your job.
Well, I was going to, but I thought you were going to talk. So I was going to say, I thought it was very well put together today. I really liked it. I felt like you put it step by step, everything to where it was to a T. Exactly. So, very good. I loved it.
All right. So,
if anybody wants to follow up, if you have any questions, please, for Loveth, you can come up. Hopefully in the future, we will have a, my mind just went blank. Did you ever do that? We want to have a seminar in Nigeria. We're trying to get that going. So if you ever want to help with that in any way, contact Loveth. If you have questions, you
Please,
may
guys,
come up.
we need support. We need support to be able
we
to
do need support to be able to get the mental health awareness seminar going.
Sorry, Christina, let me say something quickly. So, guys, for those of us in Nigeria, very soon companies will be demanding mental health assessment certificates to show that you've been mentally trained and groomed. Because a lot of companies might not, even it gets to a point very soon that maybe at the airport, if you want to travel out, they might demand for mental health assessment certificates. So this program and seminar, the conference we are trying to put together, is to put together a training where people can come, they will register for a fee, for a token, and then they get trained. You get trained and we award you certificates. Top personalities in the mental health space are coming for this conference, and you need that certificate as long as you're in Nigeria. You need it. I don't know for other people in other countries, but as long as you're in Nigeria, and since we want to do this thing in Nigeria, you need that certificate, guys. So please, we need support. We need support to be able to, if maybe support from NGOs, from top personalities. If you know you've got money somewhere that you don't need and you're looking for where to invest, please come and invest with us so that we can be able to put out a conference that could help people mentally, so that we can be able to grow people mentally and all of that. At the end of the day, we are going to be awarding people with certificates, mental health assessment certificates, to show that these people have been mentally trained, so that they can come into your institution, your organization, and work for you, and then there's no issue at all. Because a lot of people go to companies employ them and they end up misbehaving because you're not well groomed mentally. So it's good it's good you have the certificate.
That's why
also, guys, please, let's not take this.
It'll be a seminar where if we get enough funds for the venue, then we'll have a seminar and the people will get certificates going there too. So we just need help with that too. Or if you need private counseling, Loveth does do that too. She does Zoom, but she wants me to come there to be a guest over there to help out with the mental health awareness with her too. So if anybody wants to reach out and say, hey, I can help sponsor over there, help with the venue, or help with whatever it is, contact Loveth and let her know what you can do so we can go along with that. If anybody has any personal questions about counseling, childhood trauma that she just talked about, you're more than welcome to come up. If you feel uncomfortable, you can set up a private evaluation with Loveth if you want your own counseling session, which it's not free. I'm just going to let you guys know. I know some people inbox about that.
You can also come to my
question. Someone did ask a question down below. I don't know if they want to come up. We couldn't hear your question. Say it again.
It could actually be. Yes, it could. Like I said, while I was talking about it, childhood trauma could make you also lose relationships, and it could make it difficult for you to even keep relationships, which is the reason why you would want to be staying indoor all the time and not wanting to go out to socialize with people. So yes, childhood trauma could be the reason you're reserved. That happened to me too.
Oh, okay. Actually, I just joined the conversation, and actually I'm a reserved type, but I've been wanting to know what is the cause. Actually, I'm a footballer and I'm a fan type. People love to be around me, but as at now, people don't like coming closer to me because I don't give them the chance. I always wanted to be alone, and I'm always moody.
I actually didn't hear him much.
Oh, really? Okay. He said he was a footballer and people want to talk to him and get close to him, but he doesn't want to get close to people. Right, sir?
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, please.
He says he gets moody.
It could actually be because maybe he has impending trauma from his childhood. Maybe something happened as a child that could be making him feel that way. So that's the reason why you need to revisit the past to know what exactly went wrong. By knowing what went wrong, that's the only way you can be able to address it. But if you don't know it, there is no way you can address it. It's as good as I'm saying, I say I'm having headache. If I don't admit that I'm having headache, there's no way I would know that, oh, paracetamol can, or something else, another tablets can help me to resolve it. If I'm having headache and I decide to go and take maybe medicine for tummy ache, there's no way that headache is going to go. And maybe it could even create more issues for me because I'm taking medication for the wrong thing. So until you admit that you're having headache, that's the only time you know that, yes, this is what I can actually take to help me relieve the headache I'm having. So it's the same thing with childhood trauma. If you don't revisit your childhood to know what is actually wrong, you might not know exactly what the problem is. So it's good you revisit your past and you know what to do.
Have you ever, Arthur, like considered counseling to try to go back and try to figure that out? Try to figure out what's going on?
Oh, okay. So please, could it be a cause of maybe a breakup with a loved one or something? Because actually I've been trying to figure out what the cause is, but I don't know.
Well, that's why I said, have you ever considered about going
And
to
I don't
counseling?
know if it's because I have anger issues too.
That could be too. But sometimes there's anger for a reason. Sometimes you have to figure it out. That's why it's good to have counseling sessions to be able to work on that and talk it out.
Yep.
So you know how to control that and figure out what it is that's bothering you.
You can try out counseling.
Come again,
You
please.
can come up and give an opinion if you want. If you want, you can come up.
If you follow Love It, I mean, obviously you have to set up appointments. It's just like going to a doctor too, but she's actually a professional counselor. She does do Zoom, and there's ways of helping with that to find out things. So you don't have to keep reliving that.
Oh, okay. So means I need to follow her so that we can talk about that.
Yes, because she is the counselor. She sets up her appointments and does all that stuff with her job.
Oh, okay. So
I'm a mental health advocate,
doing that
but
before.
she's the counselor.
Oh, okay. But can I ask a question to you here? Actually, I'm into smoking. I don't know if that can be the cause too.
I think what's best is just for you to book for a proper counseling section. That would help you, and also help your therapist or counselor to be able to know how to ask you the right questions to be able to get to the root of the problem. And like I said, if you don't know what's wrong with you, maybe you're having fever, you don't know what exactly is wrong with you. If you don't know exactly what is wrong with you and you're going to take maybe medicine for malaria or typhoid without knowing exactly what the problem is, probably could be something else entirely different, then you know that you are actually doing the wrong thing. There is no way that thing is going to go. And you wonder, why is your condition deteriorating? Why is it getting worse? Because you didn't go for the proper examination of
The
your
lab
health. You
work,
didn't
all
go
that
to the
stuff.
right channel so that you can be tested, run all the tests and everything to know what the problem is. So it's the same thing with trauma or whatever it is you're going through. If you don't really book for a proper counseling section for a professional to ask you the necessary questions to get to the root of what is wrong with you, to do the proper examination of your past, there's no way you'll be able to get the right help you need. So you just need to go through the right channel. And especially in this part of the world, I don't know why it's difficult for people to want to even book for therapy sections. I don't charge much. For as
No,
low
she doesn't
as
charge much.
10 to 15,000 naira only, you can book for. In Abuja, like, people are actually paying millions for therapy section. Millions. I'm not
Yes.
joking.
Yes.
People pay millions, and then my organization is offering very, very low rates because we understand how terrible.
Because she's trying to help people. There's a difference where she's not out for like taking tons of money. She's like actually trying to work with people and trying to help them.
Oh, okay. I think that would be good, and God will also bless you, because I think the world is full of people like us, people who has lost love for ourselves and for humanity.
Right. Well, that's why I always brought mental health awareness, and she's got a certificate, and that's why we work together.
It's not all about the money. It's not all about the money, because I know organizations that are collecting millions just to give you attention for therapy. They collect millions here. And then we are just collecting for as low as 10, 15,000, 20,000. or maybe I think the highest
It
amount
depends.
is
It
like
depends how long the therapy is, what you exactly
Yes,
need.
yes,
The first session is always more
yes.
because she's got to evaluate you, and then work a plan with you. That's how
It
counseling
depends.
goes, and
It depends
it's a
on the
you
duration
have
of
a
the
good
sessions that you're
outcome.
having. Because now maybe for a section you could pay like 15,000 for a section, right? Then if your case, your situation might need maybe a couple of other sections, then we can actually see how we can calculate other sections together. Maybe you need up to like 4 sections, and that 4 section we could just, okay, say let's maybe like need up to 5 sections. I can just do the calculation and say, instead of paying so amount of money, just bring 50,000 naira for this 4 section.
Yeah.
So I believe it's a fair,
Which
it's a
is
very, it's a
reasonable.
super
I've been
fair.
going to counseling all my life, so that's reasonable. I don't ever
You
stop.
can
Why?
imagine,
Because
but
we go through shit in our life all the time. And it's good because sometimes to get the knowledge you need to be able to help yourself with just everyday life and stresses, it's just nice to be able to go to someone, talk, and not have the whole world hear it. Or the fact that if I'm having anxiety, because I do in a panic attacks, or I get too depressed, I need to know what to do with myself. And sometimes my body
yeah.
changes. So that's why I continue counseling.
Oh, okay.
So I just maybe when we get to create more awareness, I believe that people will come out of their shell. A lot of people are just here; they are just hiding themselves inside their shell. They're actually inside a shell, like they don't want to come out to really admit
We're
that they need
trying.
help.
We're
because-
trying to make a seminar possible. So if there's anyone in the background listening, we are trying to make a seminar possible. So please reach out to us, especially love it to be able to do it.
I saw some news a couple of days ago that there's this white lady. She posted in a group, this mental health group. She posted that her boyfriend unalived himself after they had a good time and they were together. They had fun and all of that. She didn't know that he was dealing with some issues and all.
Oh yeah.
So the guy unalived himself. And she was so broken. I was like, I don't understand, how would you be in a relationship and you don't know that your boyfriend is actually going through something? Especially men find it difficult to really come out, because
that's what we need to normalize. Raising our children like I did, I normalized letting my boys have emotions and express themselves. It's 2025. Things are changing and it's okay. It's okay to reach out for help.
Oh, okay. Thanks for
Yeah.
your time and your advice.
So please go ahead and follow her,
like,
and you
in
can
reference to,
inbox
like,
her.
what you're saying.
Oh, okay. Right.
Okay.
Okay.
In
I
reference
hope
to what you're
we've
saying about
been able
like
to
men
attend
trying
to
to
your
express
questions.
yourself, it's
Yes, please. But it's like the currency, I'm a Ghanaian and I don't know much about the Naira. So it's like the currency you call in, it's like I don't know how to convert it.
Oh, she will work with that. She'll tell you what it's transferred to.
Oh, okay.
He
Yeah,
has
can
different
actually work
kind of
out.
currency.
We can work out something. All you have to do is maybe you should follow me, send me a DM, and I'll respond to you after the live,
Yes.
and we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Please, guys, you need to prioritize your mental health. It's better you spend that money as small as
Because
invest
then
that
you're
money
going
in
to
your
be
health
well enough.
because-
You're going to be well enough to work. You're going to be well enough to open up to have a better relationship in the future with whoever you're with. Even your work partners is going to help you. Because our mental health, if we don't work on ourselves,
Yeah. Because if you don't work on your mental health, and let's take an instance, you get to meet with President Trump tomorrow. Maybe you just coincidentally just met with him. Maybe because of the trauma you have or something, you might flop. You might actually ruin the relationship even before it started. You might meet some very, very important persons that maybe those people are actually people that God wants to use to lift you to a good place, but because you have an unresolved trauma in you that you are dealing with, you might miss those opportunities because you might not know how to handle yourself or handle those people properly. So they might say something very annoying that you could actually, there's a way you would have managed it, but because you have anger issues, or because I don't know, you just blew it off. So trauma might make you lose a lot of relationship if it's not well tended to. So it's good to go for therapy. I offer very, very, in fact, I've not seen anyone that offered affordable therapy sections like we do here in my company. There is no, I've not seen, honestly, I've not seen.
Please,
yeah, it's actually very affordable.
Please, what's the name of your company?
Oh,
Esperanza Therapy and Consultation Firm.
It's like I have a couple of her things tagged everywhere, but
Okay, but please, are you on other social media?
yeah, she's on Facebook,
Yes,
Instagram. She's in my Discord. I'm trying to find your card.
Also
I know
on
I posted
Facebook.
it. Yes, Facebook.
Facebook.
Matter of fact, we just tagged our stuff on Facebook. If you follow us on Facebook, her card's right on there too. I have that on Facebook. Trying to find the picture. Oh, right here. It has all her information on it.
Oh, okay. So please,
So
can you?
I don't know if you're in my. Are you in my clipboard? I have a clipboard that I post this in, so people can see it, because it has her WhatsApp number, it has her email, everything. I'll go post that in my group. I don't know if you're in my channel or not.
I just met you today.
Okay,
Yeah, I never knew anything about you. I just met this
it's
channel.
okay. Well, you can follow her and she'll give that to you, but if not, you can find her on Facebook and Instagram, just like we're both there. We share when we go live, usually on Fridays with this.
Oh, okay.
I'll upload the photo. Usually I upload it so people can call if they need to. If you get into my channel board, which if you go into my thing right here, if you go to my over here, or you find us on Facebook or wherever, it says Kissy Purdy's Bulletin. You just click on that and go in there. That usually tells you when the events are. If I put her picture in there so people can see it, things that are going on. But all you got to do is connect with her and she'll write with you. And you can follow her on her platforms.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys. I would like to take my leave if there's no other questions.
I don't know if
And
I'm ever
you know
asked.
the videos. Okay, wants to say ask question.
No, this guy hasn't.
Okay, you want to ask a question? Go ahead. Emperor.
I want to ask you something. Like like sometimes people tend to express yourself mostly. Yeah, mostly when like you're saying something and it's sometimes like you express something. Sometimes people tend to like express yourself and the words they say are being used against them. Like they have these childhood issues and then they try to talk it out with their friends and then they'll tell them this happened and stuff like this happened and then they turn around and use it against them.
Unfortunately, a lot of people do that. That's why it's better to go to a counselor, because they're not allowed to say nothing.
Actually, so
Sorry, I didn't hear that. I don't know if you can, Christina, if you can help me repeat what he said.
It went in and out, but it kind of it sounded like he was saying, did you say you talked to your friends about what happens and they use it against you?
I think he said when you talk to your friends. He didn't say he talked to his friends. He said in cases like this, when you talk to your friends, they try to use it against you. That's what I heard him said.
Please give me a second.
I have a bad connection.
You can type it in the comments if you want. If you can't, you can type it.
Yeah, okay, so like I'm saying that how can someone like go through this, like they have the childhood trauma they're going through, they have social anxiety and sometimes it leads them to committing suicide and can't give themselves calm and stuff happen and which makes them end up being in isolation and they avoid talking to people sometimes. So I'm like asking like if stuff like that happen and they don't have anyone to talk to and they don't want to talk to a counselor either. Is it actually a good idea to be in isolation and then like keep it to yourself, be in isolation without talking to friends or anyone?
Isolation will make your problems worse, and it's better if you talk to a counselor because they're trained to help you get through it, especially if you're having social anxiety. In order for
All right.
Yeah.
like I had a lot of issues with anxiety, and I had to learn techniques. I had to learn a lot of stuff from my counselor. They're not there to judge, they're there to help. If you isolate yourself from the world completely, it's not good.
Isolating yourself from the world is just, it might drive you to your early grave. It might make you unalive yourself before you could even realize it, you know. And I don't know why people are scared, especially men. They are scared of going to seek therapy, going to therapy or seek help. And in fact, the news I saw about that lady's boyfriend unaliving himself, I think there are like two of them, two different persons that posted about that. So I don't know why you as a man want to bottle up things and then stay alone to yourself. If really you love yourself, you will seek help. That's the truth. And counselors or therapists are
Yeah,
not
but
there to judge you in any way. And in fact, we keep everything confidential. There's no way we'll carry what you say to us, want to go and broadcast it or tell anyone about it. We don't. Everything is confidential. In fact, before you sign up, we make sure that you are able to know that yes, this thing you are going to tell us or whatever section we are going to have is confidential. It's not being recorded. You know that. So isolating yourself is gonna make it worse. You are not stronger than the men that are unaliving themselves because of depression and anxiety. So I would always advise that you should seek help, please. It won't cost you much. It will not. You
None
being
of your
able to
friends are
access
even going to know you're going to counseling. That's private.
nobody's gonna know. Nobody will. We don't start you anywhere. We don't put it anywhere. So I don't see why people don't want to go for counseling. Nobody needs to know. Nobody will know. Please, guys, you need to seek help if you can. It doesn't make you less of a man. It doesn't. In fact, it makes you more of a man because it shows that you care about yourself and you care about the people around you. Because if you don't seek help, you will definitely treat people around you badly, and you might lose relationships with people too. Because you will always keep being at loggerheads with people around you. You always having issues with people. So I just advise you guys to seek help. I don't know. My organization have been offering very very affordable therapy, but it's still very very hard for people to want to even.
I know. No, I completely understand. If they only knew how much it costs in America to go get it if you don't have insurance. It's a lot.
Very soon Americans will take me from here. Then Nigerians, that's when they will start saying, "Oh God, we wish we are taking them seriously." Don't worry, guys. We'll soon leave Nigeria. When we leave, you people will start looking.
And you
for
don't
me.
have to even go to her office. She does Zoom, so you're in your own safety spot of your own house. So
No, we do virtual
please follow her
therapy
up.
mostly.
Please follow her up, and you can inbox
We
her.
do virtual therapy. We use Zoom, Google Meet, any platform you chose. We would use. In fact, if you want us to use the WhatsApp call, it's fine. Whatever platform you want us to use, that's fine. Depends on your choice. So, location is not a problem. We do more virtual therapy.
Yes. So I hope that
To save
answered
you
your
the
questions.
To save you the stress and the cost of having to move, because even if you want to decide to be moving up
Yeah.
and down to go for therapy, if something bad happens, they will not start targeting to the fact it's because you went for therapy. So we usually advise virtual therapy, which will save you time, energy, and resources.
Thank you.
Do you have a question for Loveth, the other guy, or did you just come up here being loud? Well, I don't know. I don't take that chance. I'm just gonna go. So she's probably gotta go. She's been on here for a while now. So next Friday we'll have another session. Again, like I said.